Specialist weapons have become the strongest weapons in Call of Duty Zombies. They have put wonder weapons and normal weapons to shame, and there's no denying how effective specialist weapons are at killing zombies. Today, I want to talk about Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 specialist weapons, how they have evolved over the years, how they've impacted the game, and compare the two in today's episode of The Mainframe.
Specialist weapons hit the scene in Black Ops 3 Zombies due to multiplayer shift toward an advanced movement system. History has shown us that Zombies is always working within the confines of what multiplayer, campaign, or battle royale produce. As a result, Zombies is looked at as the third child, even from within the studio, despite its past successes. Being the last to get resources, it forced the Zombies dev team to reuse development assets from other modes and retrofit them into the Zombies experience. Repurposing assets was the foundation of the original World at War maps. Nakdarin Toten was the multiplayer map Airfield. Vruk, the Asylum, multiplayer map. Shinonuma was Knee Deep, and Darice was Nightfire. The core values of Zombies has not changed much over the years, as we can see in the implementation of specialist weapons. First, introduced in Shadows of Evil and the Giant, specialist weapons were extremely powerful, limited-time use weapons that could make your player nearly unbeatable. Shadows of Evil introduced two types of swords, the Apothicon and Keeper swords, while the Giant's Seraph Annihilator pistol came directly from multiplayer if you completed the Flytrap Easter egg. As the map progressed, we saw that DG4, the Skullland Sapui, and the Gauntlet Siegfried added to maps as the season went on. To acquire one of these weapons, players were expected to complete the same quest every game. The benefit of this implementation is players never had to worry about random spawns or remembering a bunch of extra information. The downside to this method of implementation is it caused getting these items to become stale and repetitive if played too often. Black Ops 4 implemented specialist weapons in a new way, with the implementation of creating a class in Treyarch Zombies, and Treyarch's decision to split the Zombies mode into two different storylines impacted the game. This splitting of the story allowed Treyarch to create 4 specialist weapons for each storyline. Each weapon fit a specific character. Jumping into the game of Black Ops 4 Zombies had its benefits and drawbacks in the implementation of specialist weapons. The biggest benefit in Black Ops 4's implementation of specialist weapons is how it allows you just to jump right into the action as soon as you load into the game. You are constantly charging up your specialists from the second you get in-game, letting players live in the action. Specialist weapons also function as a get-out-of-jail-free card. Whenever a player's trapped, all they have to do is pull out their specialist weapon. It knocks back all the zombies, gives players armor to take more hits, and gives them devastating weapons. The specialist weapon in the Ether storyline only saw one new addition in the form of Nikolai's flamethrower. The DG4s were back, renamed to DG5s, and given a new tapping ability during its level 2 form, but we're going to get into the forms in just a second. Takio's Katana was usable again from Revelations, and the Death Machine, first introduced in Black Ops 1, was repurposed into a specialist slot. As for the Chaos story, players were given 4 brand new specialists from the ground up. These were the Scepter of Ra, the Chakrams of Vengeance, the Hammer of Valhalla, and Viper and Dragon. I adored the addition of these to the Chaos storyline. Black Ops 4 not only allowed players to use double the specialist weapons they could in Black Ops 3, they added a new leveling system to the specialist weapons. This allowed Treyarch to take the weapons we already were familiar with and surprise players with new abilities, a perfect way to keep players using their specialists, and give players new tools to reach higher rounds while keeping the gameplay moving from the very start of the game. Now the Katana didn't seem just like a reused asset with its new leveling up powers and making the Katana act like a new form every time you leveled up. Now to look at the drawbacks of Black Ops 4 specialist weapons, we have to acknowledge the duality of starting with them. Specialist weapons made the player overpowered as soon as they spawned into the match, devaluing any wonder weapons or weapons they might buy. It removed risk and reward incentives from the players. Why bother playing a different way when you can always be comfortable with your specialist weapon and your personalized create a class? Why do any tedious quests in Black Ops 4 when you have everything you need as soon as you spawn in? Besides, players couldn't use specialist weapons from other storylines, even in mutations. That decision is a strange barrier in a game that was so focused on custom classes and customization. You couldn't cross between the Ether and Chaos specialist weapons. A decision that made sense at first, but wouldn't as we look down the line. Now let's compare the two games' implementation of specialist weapons. What I find interesting is there is strong merit between the both of them. One weakness of Black Ops 4 specialist weapons is the fact that they never evolved. Players could get excited for new specialist weapons when the next map was coming out. This made specialists feel more generic when we didn't get new ones added to the Black Ops 4 season. It caused zombies to play like a sandbox game instead of zombies maps having their own identity and map-specific features as all the maps did in the past. The specialist weapons in Black Ops 4 became more generic as time went on because it no longer felt like our characters were scrounging around for resources in the areas they found themselves in to build an item to defend themselves. I felt the specialist weapons didn't fit the characters either when you would play a 4-player match on Blood of the Dead or Tag Der Toten and everyone's using Takio's katana. Why is Stu using Takio's katana while demonstrating amazing samurai swings? It puts zombies into a more goofy version of itself by letting players use any specialist weapon they wanted per character across any of the maps. Black Ops 3 is my preference if I have to choose an implementation of specialist weapons. But all the Black Ops 4 specialist weapons are much better and in some cases way cooler than the specialist weapons that were available in Black Ops 3. I love the idea that you can level up your weapon in-game. All 4 of the Chaos Specialist weapons are extremely fun to use, and they can fit any character much better than the Ether Specialist weapons, even though some of them do fit one character better than another in the Chaos storyline. I hope for a happy marriage between the two methods of Specialist weapons if they return in the next zombie iteration. I would like to earn my Specialist weapon every game the same way. That way I don't have to deal with what Black Ops 4 showed me. It showed how tedious quests can be if you allow RNG to spice up your life in between games when you try and make these weapons. Once you get the specialist weapon in game, through a quest that works the same every time, let players level up their specialist weapons to new devastating effects. Every map should have their own specific weapons that fit the characters and the narrative. Having 1 or maybe 2 per map gives players excitement to look forward to the newest release of zombie maps. This would give identity to the maps, it gives value to the specialist weapons, and creates new fun experiences for players to return to if they want to try and use those specialist weapons they enjoyed so much. Specialist weapons are extremely fun ways to play that I think need more fine-tuning. Black Ops 3 specialists are a joke compared to Black Ops 4 ones, but that brings consequences. Zombies became too easy in Black Ops 4, making the game boring to many. Black Ops 3 did suffer from doing the same quest every time you played, but getting specialist weapons felt like a worthy reward. Zombies became too easy in Black Ops 4, making the game boring to many. Black Ops 3 did suffer from doing the same quest every time you played, but getting specialists felt like a worthy reward. The Skull of Nansapwi and the Gauntlet of Siegfried were wonderful experiences that changed how the players played without devaluing the wonder weapons or guns inside the match. But their quests could grate on your nerves if you did them every time. Black Ops 3 was susceptible to burnout and doing the same thing over and over. My top 5 favorite specialists are the Skull of Nansapwi, the Hammer of Valhalla, the Chakrams of Vengeance, Viper and Dragon, and the Gauntlet of Siegfried. I'd like to know what your favorites are in the comments down below. Specialist weapons are an interesting topic, and I really think there can be a lot of evolution in the next installment of Zombies if they decide to stick around. Black Ops 3 and 4 both got some things right and some things wrong. The games are incredibly fun when you use them, but you also don't want to break the game to the point where it's no longer fun to play. There's gotta be this middle ground that I think Treyarch can hit if they follow the fun and aren't afraid to really lean into the risk-reward of getting these items without implementing long, arduous, tedious quests.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Mainframe. We post a new episode every Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you leave a comment and a rating for the YouTube algorithm. If the video does well, then we get to make more of these. Consider supporting these videos on Patreon. The Patreon directly supports the editors at which make these videos so much better than they would otherwise. Thank you to our patrons that make these videos possible. And I have posters. I have an Ether poster. It is 24 by 36 inches. It's huge. And that is available on my website for the Ether storyline. And on March 31st, I'm proud to be selling my newest design, the Resident Evil poster. You can see that one on screen right now, and that'll be selling all the way through April. So make sure you save up. It'll be $25 as it releases plus shipping. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, have a wonderful day and be safe until I see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.